I'm asking Josh if he thinks Doug's coming.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't
Well, you
matter
know
if we've
what?
already
It looks
started.
like we're live, even though Chris
Yeah.
hasn't shared a YouTube link because he's a dick,
Shut up.
like a butt.
Man, that E3 was a snooze fest, huh?
Here's the thing. No, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. Prove me right. Prove me wrong.
All right, I'm gonna say this. This was not the most exciting E3. In terms of not the Hangout link, Chris, I already have that, buddy.
Shut up.
I thought your phone was agreeing with you that it wasn't the most exciting E3.
No. So what I'm saying is, it's not the most exciting E3. I will give you that. It was a E3 low on like megaton announcements. Holy shit! However, this E3 has pretty much cemented 2020 as one of the biggest video game years in a long time, because not only is quarter one, like January to May, absolutely stacked with games, but we also know the next PlayStation and the next Xbox are coming next holiday. So we're
Can I interrupt? Can I interrupt real quick?
Please.
Can I just say that if anything we can learn from this E3, and I know we'll discuss it tonight, is Nintendo has really just
Nintendo did it right.
Nintendo did it right, and they weren't even really there.
E3 was weird because the first half of E3 was pretty much characterized by no gameplay. It was all CG trailers or like just regular trailers and stuff. We didn't have the traditional, here's our new game coming out, here's a gameplay demo. Our first major gameplay demo wasn't until Doom Eternal on Bethesda, and then that was it for Sunday. Monday, we got a huge gameplay demo for Watch Dogs, but then it wasn't until Square Enix and Nintendo that we got to really see a lot of gameplay. Even though Nintendo was all in trailer form, but it was all gameplay. Like none of their trailers were CG. So it was weird. I feel like it kind of dampened some of the excitement. But then again, there's so many games that were announced that I'm really excited for that's why I can't call it a like a bad E3, because the whole point of E3 is to get you excited about upcoming games. And it did that. It just didn't have any shock value. There was no surprises. There was no like water cooler moments of E3 this year.
Well, Keanu Reeves.
I mean, but that's indicative, right? Like if your biggest moment of E3 is that Keanu Reeves came on stage to talk about his role in a video game, then your E3 doesn't have a lot of surprises.
Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. I think we can spend the whole episode talking about Cyberpunk and how that game is just shaping up to be something that I'm pleasantly surprised every single time. It's a lot like Borderlands 3. The more information that comes out about Borderlands 3, the more excited I get about, all right, this is something that's going to be worthwhile.
Can I just say one thing and why I'm increasingly conflicted about Cyberpunk? Because don't get me wrong, super stoked. The game looks incredible, but CD Projekt Red is proving that this Eastern European company probably isn't the best to tackle these really complex social issues.
Well, I don't know.
All I'm saying is they revealed today from a gate. Someone took a picture from the gameplay demo, and one of the in-game advertisements is this trans person with a woman on an advertisement with a giant erect dick in her leotard, and she's drinking a cola, and the tagline for the soda is "Mix it up."
Capitalism.
I mean, it's
Cyberpunk. You're living in a capitalistic dystopia.
That's not the point. It's not that they're selling stuff. Anyway. I'm just saying that between that and like the fact that the all black gang is called the Animals, I just feel like there's some stuff that's tone deaf. And
no, I get that, but you know,
it's probably CD Projekt Red is a company. CD Projekt Red as a company is so good. They have so many good practices about how they view like the consumer that I wish they would just have a little more tact in how they handle different source material. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
That said, I did pre-order the collector's edition because Cyberpunk is going to be. And all right, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, get in here.
Chris, if I was to tell you that by April of next year, we would not only have Death Stranding and Cyberpunk, but also Final Fantasy VII Remake all coming out, 3 games that we continuously joke would never come out, and yet they're all now coming out within a 4-month span of each other. Like, how crazy is that?
I mean, it's pretty crazy. I think Final Fantasy VII, is the one that's the most surprising coming out in that time frame.
I honestly thought it was Death Stranding was the most surprising. I was literally convinced it was a PS5 game.
I thought Final Fantasy was always just going to be kind of vaporware.
I don't know. I've still got a lot of questions about Final Fantasy VII. Death Stranding is going to become something that I'm going to wait till it come out to find out what the hell's going on about the game. It intrigues me, but you're right. There are 3 games that you can easily joke and say, hey, these games are never coming out, and they're coming out within the same month of each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I thought the most efficient and best way to handle this E3 discussion, because spoiler alert, this is the E3 episode of the NOLA Nerdcast, E3 2019, baby, whoop whoop. And just go by conference like usual. Go in the order that they debuted, and roll from there. What do you think, Chris? Josh?
I think that's the best way to do it, is just go through, and if we have any comments on what was announced, or
because I have a list of all the games that were announced.
Just Dance for the Wii.
First of all, Just Dance is a fucking phenom, and I cannot believe the original Wii is still. Just Dance turned 10 with this new one coming out. It's its 10th anniversary. And it's still coming out on the Wii, and it sells a gajillion copies.
A gajillion is impossible to sell. There's not many people on the planet to sell
it's
a
one of
gajillion.
Ubisoft's most lucrative franchises.
That keeps the lights on, doesn't it?
Also, I just realized it's not Ubisoft, it's Ubisoft.
Whatever, Ubisoft.
No. Do you know what Ubisoft stands for? Because it's going to take me a while to realize that you have to pronounce it Ubisoft. It stands for Ubiquitous Software.
Oh.
So that's why it's pronounced Ubisoft. And I think that's super interesting. And one of those things that you never really thought about. You're like, no, what does Ubisoft mean? It's a portmanteau. What is it? A port something of 2 words?
Portmanteau.
Portmanteau. There you go. Hey, Kogasu, we E3 now, baby.
First thing I need to really just talk about my excitement is the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Just that's all I can say. I'm just gonna do this.
Are you actually excited about that?
Oh my god. Okay. We could
Don't
talk
get me
about
wrong. I love these mini consoles. They're amazing.
TurboGrafx 16 had some gems. They had some gems, and no one got to play them. And the people who got to play them, like myself.
Are you a huge fan of Bonk?
Oh man, Bonk and this Kadash, and then there's the Y series. Yeah, Slaughterhouse, Mutant League Football. We can just go on and on about Silent Debuggers. We can go on and on about all the weird little games that came out on this system.
Well, I'm really excited that you're that happy about it, because I think I have to laugh at the reaction to it, because so many people are like, oh, Konami's going to make an announcement. And they came up with the most ridiculous pie-in-the-sky predictions, like they're going to do Metal Gear Solid HD and remake it like Final Fantasy VII, or there's going to be a brand new Castlevania game, or they're going to finally make a new Suikoden. And I'm like, no, it's Konami. It's going to be a new pachinko system, or something completely ridiculous. And apparently it's the TurboGrafx Mini. So you know what? Good for them.
Good for them. I'm excited about it. I'm going to buy it. It's like that Sega Mini. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy this thing. I hope they put 100 games on it. I hope they one-up Sega and be like, you know what? We're going to do 100 games.
You know what? Are there 100 games on the TurboGrafx, though?
All of them. It gets all of the games.
Pretty sure there's like 20 games on the TurboGrafx. The TurboGrafx is one of those systems that came out and you immediately forgot that it came out, even during that time. People
It
who
was
either
so-
had a Genesis or a Super Nintendo, and then you
Well, the
had
thing
to
about the
remind
TurboGrafx
yourself.
16 is that all the games were a little too Japanesey.
I mean, bonk.
It's
There's a
not bonk.
caveman that you headbutted people.
Right. Awesome. Okay, let's get to E3. Sorry.
Okay.
Mark.
No. Hey, that's part of E3. It's a valid thing to bring up. So, actually, Kogasu in chat's like Soldier Blade! Exclamation mark. All right, so there was no Sony this year, which meant Xbox had the de facto major corporation with all the third-party shenanigans that you could want. And they came out strong. And even though I deduct points from them for having almost little to no gameplay shown at their conference, they came out and said, we're going to show you 60 games. And you know what? They fucking showed 60 games. And Chris, you've been kind of silent, so I have a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is Game Pass not the best fucking deal in the video game industry right now?
I think it is. I think you have to be foolish to have an Xbox and not have Game Pass.
Agreed. And now that they've announced the Game Pass for PC, it's even sillier because now you can get, for $9.99, you can get all 100 PC games for free with rotating titles every month, including all the new Xbox games.
It's a little fucked up that it's not one thing for both.
Sure it is. It's Xbox Ultimate Pass, $14.99 a month. Gives you PC, Xbox Live, and Xbox Game Pass all rolled into one.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go. So for Josh, since I know you're not an Xbox guy, sorry, Chris, you go.
I'm just saying, this Xbox conference, and I think E3 in general this year, is summed up by the phrase, "That's neat." You joked about that during the PC conference, and I think I said that for literally every game that came out. It was just.
Can I point out that the PC conference was shockingly good?
It was something.
You know what it was? It was the PC conference pulled the Nintendo approach, and they were just like, "Here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game."
And except for that girl dressed up like a shark.
That was the best part. What are you talking about? They had a chat meter where you could press type in F to respect the shark.
I didn't.
So Josh, I'm because we're not going to do a segment on the PC gaming show, but I will say there's an upcoming RPG where you play as a shark. And it's called Maneater, and you can build up and level up your shark and equip things like metal teeth so you can eat boats, or upgrade, mutate your lungs so you can spend more time on a beach eating people.
Oh.
And during the trailer, you could type in F in chat to build up a meter, and once the meter was filled, someone dressed as Left Shark from the Super Bowl halftime came out. It was the best.
What is this game called?
It's called Maneater. It's a fucking RPG about sharks, about being a shark and eating everything around you.
Doing shark things.
Yeah, doing shark stuff. It's fine.
Who doesn't like doing shark things?
People being eaten by sharks? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Good
All
point.
right, so let's start off Xbox. What happened?
Right, we're going to Xbox. So, like I said, Xbox Ultimate is probably, and Game Pass is amazing.
Yes.
You get all these games at launch. But anyway, they started off strong. And like I said, it was just trailer after trailer after trailer. None of it was gameplay, unless it was like gameplay featured in the trailer. But so many big games coming to Xbox, and by extension, a lot of them are also coming out on PlayStation. But that's just the nature when you deal with third-party games. So it started with Outer Worlds, the new Obsidian RPG, which is now an Xbox company, but Outer Worlds is their last game coming out on PlayStation, so Josh can also enjoy it. It's the game where it's like Outer Rim planets and anarchy, and then you play as a unknown factor. You can be a hero or you can be a psychopath. Those are your only options.
So here's my note. Outer Worlds, October 2019. Looks neat. No gameplay.
That's going to be the running theme, right? Neat.
Basically, I was all in on Outer Worlds when they first announced it anyway. So until they start showing like actual gameplay, I don't need trailers.
Was it like 3 out of 5 neats?
No, just a neat.
I would love to come into town and do a video and just have the rating system be because Dorkly has this running gag where Sonic just goes, "Huh, neat." And I want that to be the sound bite. for how hyped we are. Like 9 out of 10. Huh. Neat.
Neat.
Yeah, just neat.
Okay.
But if you're not showing gameplay, I'm not interested. I mean, I'm already getting it. So
The second it was an Obsidian sci-fi RPG, I knew you were in.
yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
But a release date's nice.
Yeah, exactly. So
I believe the next game is Bleeding Edge from Ninja Theory.
yeah, so this was a brief kind of kerfuffle on the interwebs because the creator of Hellblade, one of the best single-player narrative games to come out in recent memory, they announced their new game was going to be this multiplayer action brawler where so it's like an action game where you fight each other, but it's all multiplayer. And people were like, oh, of course, Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, and now they're forcing them to make a multiplayer title. But then you realize that they've actually been working on Bleeding Edge for like 6 years. The best way to describe it, Josh, it's Overwatch, but as a fighting game, like an action fighting game. Exactly. Like think of a platinum action game like Transformers or Nier or whatever game that Platinum Games makes. And then your characters are all like Overwatch style heroes with their own abilities and stuff.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
So a lot of punching in the face.
Exactly.
I have no feelings for this one way or the other.
I mean, it's not going to be for me because it's a multiplayer-centric title. But if you have Game Pass, it costs $0 to try.
Sure, I'm just not even interested.
I know.
Even to try it. So
now, next up was one of the best games of the conference. Because
was it because it was just the video? It was Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah, but that's because Ori is that good. And I'm well, it has a release date, February of 2020.
There you go. Then.
Yeah, my only note is it's on Game Pass at launch. So
because it's a Microsoft game. But no, I got to play the demo last year, and it looked even better than what I played last year. And the first Ori game was one of my favorite Xbox games of all time. So the sequel is just everything I've ever wanted.
Okay.
So I wish it was a 2019 game. I'm not going to turn down a 2020.
Yeah.
Next, we got the new game by the makers of Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft Diablo.
Yeah, pretty much Minecraft Dungeons. It's Minecraft Diablo.
Spring 2020 comes out on Game Pass, so I'll try it.
Exactly. I mean, it's not going to be like a game I'm hugely into, but you know what? It's the new game by the makers of Minecraft, so you'd be a fool to discount it.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Next was a game that I think we can skip over. It's called Cyberpunk. I don't know. I haven't heard very many good things about it.
Wait, my note says Phil Spencer came on to do the blah, blah, gaming is for everyone. 60 games, 34 on Game Pass, 4 for Microsoft Studio.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then was a little video of Star Wars Fallen Order with Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker's in it, and you fight the robot that's voiced by Wash.
Yeah, so that tells you roughly the time frame and kind of narrows it down for you.
I'm interested in Fallen Order.
Also, you neglected to mention the fact that in the year of our Lord 2019, there's a Blair Witch game.
I haven't gotten there yet.
You went straight to Cyberpunk.
That's the order I have it written in.
I have the order I took from the conference. Star Wars.
Then why don't
Blair
you
Witch.
go, Chris?
Maybe I will. All right, so there's a Blair Witch game coming out with a man and his dog. And
I literally thought it was Resident Evil 8 because I've been hearing rumors that Resident Evil 8 was going to be announced.
I thought it was going to be something like Alan Wake. I never would have predicted a Blair Witch game.
I don't think anyone would have predicted a Blair Witch game.
It even took me a second when they panned out and saw the stick figure thing. I was like, "The fuck is that? The Blair Witch?"
Yeah,
it's very odd, but
that's really
whatever.
odd.
But you know what? Hey,
I hope it's Resident Evil 8.
Yeah. Then we get Cyberpunk. It's
I was really bummed that it was just another trailer.
It was, but the trailer had Keanu Reeves.
It sure did. That was, I think, the hypest moment of the show.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't get a better hype man for your game than Keanu, who comes out on stage and is like, "Hey, CD Projekt Red's cool, and I got to do this for them, and I think you guys are going to like it.
Yeah. And
Also,
then,
it's coming out April of next year.
also that conference set a dangerous precedent.
It paid over to the other conferences.
Exactly, it did. So someone yelled on stage, like Keanu Reeves goes and he says, "This game is going to be breathtaking," and someone yells out, "You're breathtaking," and Keanu Reeves goes back, "No, you're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking." Crowd erupts. Everyone goes crazy. They announced later that CD Projekt Red is giving the person that yelled at Keanu Reeves a free copy of the collector's edition of Cyberpunk. So what does that do? It emboldens literally everyone to yell at every other presenter for every other conference. Because every other conference this year at E3 had someone scream something at a present at a presenter.
Oh no.
So after we get the release date of April 16th for Cyberpunk, we get a very cute game called Spiritfarer coming to Game Pass about something about burying people to death.
Yeah, with a lot of cute little animal creatures, like a neat little matronly looking deer.
Yeah. So here's what I want to read this what I typed out verbatim because
I know what you're about to talk about. Go.
I'm reading it and I don't understand what I typed.
Okay.
Battletoads, Game Pass, streamers Berts are overcrowd.
What?
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Streamers Berts are overcrowd. I'm sure it made sense when I typed it. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
does it have
Battletoads is coming out.
So there's a new Battletoads finally coming out, and I think it's a case of just Microsoft. This seems like a rare misstep for Microsoft because they worked so hard to finally get a Battletoads game out because it was a meme for so long. And yet now that it's been announced, no one gives a shit. If you go on the debut trailer for Battletoads, it's one of the most disliked videos in Microsoft's conference. Like
it looks pretty bad, right?
It does. It looks incredibly budget, which of course you're not going to give a AAA budget to fucking Battletoads, but it's like at that point you should have just left it as a meme. I don't know. Battletoads is one of those games that lives on in infamy, and you kind of forget whether or not it was actually good.
I don't think it ever was good.
I mean, that's the problem. Like, how much of it is because you were a kid and that was like all you had, right? Versus if you went back and played it now,
a certain level, and it's like level 2, and then you're like, "Fuck this game."
Well, maybe you, because you suck.
Okay.
So then we have The Legend of Wright, which has a kind of a sketchpad RPG.
It's an RPG, but it's all done on like pencil and paper, and like it flips the page. It's like a D&D handbook, but someone's like sketching out maps and stuff on it. All right, remember that game by David Jaffe called like Drawn to Life?
Yep.
Imagine if it wasn't shit and it was in fact a really whimsical RPG.
Wow. You're going hard for David Jaffe. Then we have the ID at Xbox. The Sarah Bond comes out.
Can I start that?
Well, here's the 6 games they announced that are on Game Pass that day: Arkham Knight, Borderlands Handsome Collection, Metro Exodus, Hollow Knight.
You said 6 games. That was 4.
Well, that's all you get.
Do you not know what word?
Numbers.
Yeah, it's whatever. So talk about Game Pass for PC.
So the IDX. Oh no, I wanted to talk about the indie game montage.
Oh, the sizzle.
Yeah,
go for it.
I mean, let me know when we get there.
Okay. We also found out that using with Game Pass launched today for PC, there's 100 games. Imperator Rome and Football Manager, also the Master Chief Collection,
which is huge. It's the first time every Halo game has been available on PC.
Yeah,
like, that one's massive.
Also,
they also announced Halo Reach.
Yeah, which was like the big get. Also, they announced with using 4K satellite and Azure AI Flight Simulator.
They're bringing back Flight Simulator. And look, I don't care about Flight Simulator, but that is a massively popular franchise that's been dormant for like almost a decade. So good for them for bringing it back.
Yeah. Hey, Matt. Do you like Age of Empires?
I dabbled in it as a kid.
Great. You can play Age of Empires 2, the 4K remaster.
Hey, again, it's another one of those games where it's like, holy shit, there was such a dedicated hardcore PC fan base on this, and they're bringing it back.
In 4K?
Them.
it's getting a new campaign too, so that's something.
Like, I have no problem with that. I am okay with that. Like, Microsoft's biggest problem was their games were always hyper focused on the shooting crowd. Like, if you weren't a Gears or a Halo or Forza guy, Microsoft, like, continuously for like a decade didn't really give you much else to care about. And in the past couple of years, they've really branched out and they've been getting all kinds of genres into the mix. So good for them.
We got something for Wasteland 3.
Yeah. That Wasteland 3 is another company that they bought. So they bought inXile, and they're the makers of Wasteland 3. So it's another game that's coming out on everything first, but then whatever they make next gen will be Xbox only. Just another really quality CRPG, Baldur's Gate style. They're the creators of the original 2 Fallouts. So Wasteland is their spiritual successor to those original style Fallout games.
Okay. Double Fine, they announced Double Fine had joined Microsoft.
Yep, and we got a new trailer for Psychonauts 2.
Cool.
Did you see the video of Tim Schafer explaining how that deal went down? It's amazing. It's a little documentary, right? So it starts and they're like filming at Double Fine Studios and they're like going through and you think it's going to be a real in-depth documentary. And then it cuts to Tim Schafer sitting down in a room and he goes, yeah, so Microsoft offered me a shitload of money. And I said, yeah. And that was the end of the documentary.
Well, it makes sense because we'd seen the Banner Saga come to Game Pass in the last couple of weeks. So
Banner Saga was BioWare people, though.
I thought it was Double Fine.
Double Fine was like Broken Age.
Yes, that's right.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
We know that in 2020 there will be a Lego Star Wars saga with all of the movies.
Yep.
So you can play 1 through 6 and then get the last 3. We got a little video for Dragon Ball Kakarot in early 2020, the Dragon Ball RPG.
Yeah, it's the first time in over a decade Dragon Ball has gotten a game that's not just a pure fighting game. We're getting a Dragon Ball action RPG called Dragon Ball Kakarot that goes through what looks like up to turning Super Saiyan from Nap, Vegeta to Frieza as an action RPG. Right? It's got to. Yeah, it has to.
I would hope so. We have a Groundhog Day-like game, 12 minutes from Annapurna Interactive.
That's Julian mentioned that in chat. Josh, you should look this up. It's called 12 Minutes. It's about a guy trapped in a time loop. And he's trying I don't quite get what he's trying to escape from, but it starts with him telling his wife he knows she murdered her father, and then the cops show up and it shows all these different scenarios where like everything goes horribly wrong and you have a loop in the same 12 minutes.
All right.
It's completely up your alley. It looked incredible. It was one of the first true surprises of E3 in terms of like a game we knew nothing about. It's a high-profile indie that's looking real good.
Ooh, yeah, I did see this,
and it's coming to Game Pass. So
it looks really, really good. But it was the first game of this E3 weekend that kind of perked my attention up.
Yeah, agreed. Grizzled.
Away to the Woods, a pretty art style magic animal game coming 2020. Then we got a Gears of War segment, which is the most bizarre commercial I've ever seen for Gears of War with the multiple heads. Kind of like a weird head morphing thing. I hated it.
Gears of War was the perfect example of why people were upset about the no gameplay thing, because Gears comes out in a couple months. It comes out this September. And 5th. They even announced a brand new game mode. And then they were like, and look at these celebrity superstar wrestlers we have that are going to play the new game mode. We're just not going to show it to you. They didn't play. They said, tune into our Mixer stream after the show and we'll actually show you what the game looks like. But for this show, you're going to get another CG trailer. We didn't get just one. We got 2 trailers that didn't show us dick.
The escape mode, the new mode for Gears, could be something.
I mean, apparently it's really fucking fun, but I really think they would have benefited from, showing it off a little bit.
I agree.
So why does it feel like this new Gears is going to be like Crackdown 3?
I don't think so. There's not a chance in hell. For this new Gears, like everyone's really all about it. It's just their way of handling it at this E3 was like a huge misstep. That's all.
Listen. Crackdown 3 is the laziest game I've ever played in my life, and I think that if Gears puts like an ounce of effort into it, it's a better game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you who the real winner of E3 is, and that is the marketing team for Terminator Dark Fate, because their DLC is in everything.
Terminator announced collaborations with Mortal Kombat, Gears of War. What was the other game?
I don't remember.
It was a
But it's some
game.
action
It was like Tom Clancy. It was one of the Tom Clancy games. Was it Breakpoint?
Yeah, it
Or
might
was
be.
it Watch Dogs? It wasn't Watch
No,
Dogs.
it wasn't Watch Dogs. It was Breakpoint.
Okay. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Fuck. There was so much Terminator just going on.
They are the real MVPs. All right. What else? we
Next,
got?
well, I'm going. The next we're getting the Elite controller's getting an upgrade, 40-hour charge, Bluetooth, all that kind of jazz. Dying Light 2 got a release date of spring 2020. It doesn't show anything that the first trailer showed us, and it looks like Dying Light 1. So I don't know what's going on with that.
I'm excited for it.
I am too. I really loved Dying Light. I replayed it in the last year, and I still really enjoy it. Forza Horizon's getting Lego DLC.
Which is dope because Forza Horizon 3 got the Hot Wheels DLC, and
Yeah.
now 4 is getting fucking Lego DLC. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
The Funko Gears of War pop game, which I literally walked away from, so my only note says Funko Gears Pop, and then nothing. So, State of Decay 2 is getting an expansion called Heartland.
Yep. It's got a
Fantasy-
story mode now.
Fantasy Star Online is coming in spring 2020. That's online
Yeah.
too. That's kind of something.
PSO 2 for the first time in America.
Yeah.
So that was Phantasy Star Online was one of the hugest Dreamcast and original Xbox games. So good for them getting a brand new MMO since PlayStation has Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Phil Spencer came back. He mentioned a deal with something called Smilegate and Crossfire X. I have no idea what it is.
Okay, I looked this up because I was shocked. I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Because they made it sound like a big deal, and then they're like, "And now we proudly present Crossfire X coming to Xbox." It's one of those games that is massively popular in Europe, like hundreds of millions of players. It just has never really come to America before. So
Is it a battle royale?
no, it's like a regular shooter game. Like I don't know, it's like as popular as like games like Counter-Strike and Call of Duty are in America. In Europe, like Crossfire X is like legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the new Tales game, Tales of Arise, coming out in 2020.
Yep.
We have
Tales.
Borderlands 3. The most notable thing is the Handsome Collection went on Game Pass, and the DLC that sets up the third game also launched. So people can play Borderlands 2 and then play the 2.5 DLC.
Okay.
And we have the release date of September 13th for Borderlands 3. We have, I guess, text about the new game from Miyazaki and George Martin from FromSoft,
Elden
Elden
Ring.
which,
There you go, Josh. Elden Ring. That's the game you need, baby.
yeah, but here's the thing: like Elden Ring it's a line of text.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
CG trailer, and we don't know anything else about it. But Josh, do you need anything else to know except it's Miyazaki's new game and it's being written and the lore is done by R.R. Martin?
Nope.
Exactly. Like
Yeah, I'm good.
those,
Finish those books, eh?
those two
I'm good.
things combined, it's like a sight unseen purchase for millions of people.
The trailer looked so weird. I was like, I'm in.
So Phil Spencer comes back to round off the topic. He talks about xCloud, turning your Xbox One into a personal data center, being able to play your Xbox One wherever you go. And then we get a lot of talking heads talk about this Project Scarlet system. Nothing firm, just like it's probably 4 times more powerful than Xbox One X, 128 frames per second, 8K, next-gen ray tracing, solid-state drive. Solid-state drive is virtual RAM. Coming out holiday of next year, and Halo Infinite launches with it.
Yep.
And then there was a trailer for Halo, which was not a trailer. It was just a video.
Okay, can I talk about the indie montage real quick?
Yeah, talk about it.
Because they did an indie montage, and these are all indies that are going to be launching on Game Pass. And 4 of my favorite indies from PAX East showed up on this. Star Renegades, Night Call. Oh god, let me find the post I made about it. Hold on. And Creature in the Well. Those were some of my favorite games at PAX, and they're all coming to Game Pass day and date of launch. So I think that's really awesome because anything that can get these games to a better audience, I am all about.
Cool.
So is Xbox, and that took a long time.
Pretty underwhelming, but
Yeah.
you know, if they had shown some gameplay, it might be something.
All right, so Chris, we're gonna burn through Bethesda because that sure was a conference.
Two things. Can I just point out two things in Bethesda and we can move on? Because it's the only two things we should talk about.
Sure.
All right. Number one.
Commander Keen, I got you.
What was that?
You're talking about Commander Keen, right?
No. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yep.
Holy fucking shitcakes.
See, that games like that and Deathloop are games that I'm convinced are going to be next gen games.
Yeah.
But the trailers did such a good job of like explaining just what the concept will be that you can't help but be like happy and excited for it.
Deathloop was the next one. Holy shit. Like this excites me about Bethesda. I know we're not seeing another Scrolls. I know we're not seeing Starfield in this. Those are two things I would have liked to see. But seeing these two new games, just we have two new IPs coming on top of Wolfenstein Youngblood, on top of and then we got Doom Eternal was the big deal.
Yeah, that Doom Eternal was my thing of the conferences that I watched.
Because that was a pure gameplay trailer, and Doom Eternal looked fucking
that game looks so smooth. Everything about the combat in that game is so fluid. It doesn't seem real.
Yep.
It really doesn't.
So good.
All right, moving on.
No, it's fine. Like, because Doom Eternal was one of the best showings of the entire E3.
It was great.
Like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, like are some of like they've now jumped up into I can't wait to see more status. But Doom Eternal was like, holy shit, this is a game that's coming out. It comes out this holiday, and Doom 2016 is still one of the most perfect shooters of this generation. And Doom Eternal is taking that to a whole new level. I mean, what else is there to talk about? Like, we got Wolfenstein Youngblood, and it looks great because it's a co-op shooter, and the levels are designed by the people that made Dishonored. Yeah. So that's a given. But that's pretty much Bethesda had a weak-ass conference overall.
Besides showing two more of the next-gen games, I think Bethesda...
Hey, we have two Chris's.
That's weird.
That's weird.
We got two Chris's up in this piece.
Another two Chris. I do feel like Bethesda's going to have a great showing for the next gen.
Oh, 100%, because they're going to have Starfield, they're going to have Ghostwire Tokyo, they're going to have Deathloop, and they're going to have Elder Scrolls 6. And you know there's going to be like a Doom 3 or something.
Yeah.
Like Bethesda is set for next gen.
Yeah.
But, Josh, you know you're going to need an Xbox because you know all those games are going to be Xbox only.
No, they're not. You really think that?
No.
I want to. Did y'all talk about Fallout 76 while I was gone?
No, we did not. We Fallout 6 Wastelanders is looking like the Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn of Fallout 76, where they just completely apologize for all the shit they fucked up, and they're relaunching it with a free upgrade that adds everything people wanted from the start. You have DLCs with quests. You have all these other options that you can do.
Dialogue choices.
Exactly. The things that you associate with Fallout are now coming to Fallout 76 for free.
Yeah.
That was probably the plan all along.
Their plan was to fail miserably and then come back later?
That's a terrible plan there, buddy.
You shouldn't be in charge of anything. I also want to say that when I saw Commander Keen, it was definitely the meme of, what did they do to my boy?
Actually, all right, so I was trying to remember this. Commander Keen is related to who? BJ or Doom Guy?
BJ.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great about killed Nazis.
Yep. Good times.
And now they jump around on alien planets. It's fine.
Yeah, why not?
Everything's fine. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
So that's
All right.
Bethesda.
That's all we're
Um,
talking about.
Unfortunately, so here's the question. We're already pushing past 10 o'clock. Do we keep going because the next 3 conferences are really meaty? Or do we split this up into a 2-party 3 episode?
I think we could push through if we kind of speed a little. What time do you need to go? You're the one on the time frame.
I have like 10 more minutes.
Okay, well then we might as well wait till do.
Yeah, let's finish.
Why don't we do Ubisoft tonight and we save the last 2 and then our overall impressions and our personal favorite games of E3 next week?
Okay.
Does that work for you guys?
Works for me.
All right, so we got Ubisoft rounding out today. Ubi, I'm so sorry. And Ubi, besides Doom Eternal, really started to salvage E3 by showing off one of the best friggin' gameplay demos of the show, and that was Watch Dogs Legion and our Lord and Savior Helen, the old lady that just fucks everyone's shit up. And I love that as she tries to parkour over stuff, she just slowly like crawls over like stanchions and railings and stuff. It's amazing.
Well,
so
when they announced, when we heard the leak of Watch Dogs Legion, it was you can be anyone, and I think everyone kind of took that and was like, yeah, okay, Ubisoft, whatever. And they really did a good job of showing it in action, where you are going through people with different stats and picking the right person for the job.
Exactly. And I really like some of the things, like there's the chronic gambler that with a heart problem that could literally die at any moment.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it takes what Watch Dogs had where you could like look at any civilian and see their personal data. But now when you look at them, you still get the personal data, but you also can see what stats they have if you recruit them. Like they showed someone who was really good at brawling. So, and this is my take, Chris, it looks like people are like potential recruits are divvied up into 3 categories. They have people that are good at hand-to-hand combat, you have people that are hackers, and then you have people that are good with guns.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I think you can choose how to play. And if so, I'm going to go fully non-lethal and recruit nothing but like brawlers and hackers. Because I just don't like using guns in Watch Dogs games. It feels weird.
Yeah, it feels really weird because it takes place in London. There's a lot of things that the wrong way of this Watch Dogs game because there's a lot of things that are too close to home with it. I feel like it's a really near future, and it's one of those things that I don't want to ignore and talk about. But like, I also feel like there's a lot of manipulation happening in this game.
See, I think the murder and stuff was only because it makes for a more compelling trailer that they showed. Like, oh, here you're playing as an assassin. Look at all these guns going, like gunplay. But Watch Dogs 2, I played fully non-lethal. I used nothing but the taser, gadgets, and my baton to knock people out. And from what I've heard, that is still a fully viable option in Watch Dogs 3. I really think it's a missed opportunity to not make it a mandatory thing and only let you be non-lethal.
I just don't know how the story is going to progress in the game. Like, I guess it's something to wait and see.
Well, I feel like it seems like there's like certain characters that are integral to the story, right? Like, at least that's the vibe I got from the way that your AI handler Bagley was talking to certain people. Like, I feel like there's still going to be a very intricate story.
But what if you get all them killed?
See, that's the question. Exactly. I have no idea.
Because there is permadeath.
There is permadeath. So maybe there's a core group of characters, and then you can recruit other characters. Like, think about it like Final Fantasy Tactics, Chris. You have named characters that if they die, it initiates a game over state.
Yeah.
And then you have recruitable characters that have no name and have no plot. So like you can have like a core group of DedSec, and then you can recruit random civilians for their stats and their unique abilities, but they don't factor into the story.
I can see that.
That's my potential take on that.
I can see that too.
It's based on nothing, but it does sound plausible, so I'm rolling with it.
I just want to see more of the game.
I want to see more of Helen. You're right.
Well, and we also have a release date for that coming next spring.
Yeah,
is that
which
not
I
right?
really desperately hope Watch Dogs delays itself. Because right now it's coming out March 2nd, 2020, which is the same day as Final Fantasy VII Remake. And why would anyone want to launch on the same day as Final Fantasy VII Remake? That's
Yeah,
like releasing your movie on the same week Endgame came out.
Well,
Yeah.
as
It
I
has
recall,
nothing to do with your quality. It has to do with the fact that that's all anyone else is going to care about.
Watch Dogs 2 came out the same day as something else too.
Yeah, it came out the same day as Call of Duty.
Yeah,
So you'd really think Ubisoft would have learned their lesson and picked a better release date. Now, I guarantee you they chose that release date before Square Enix announced theirs. The question is, are you going to be smart and move it up 1 week or back 1 week so you avoid Final Fantasy VII?
great question.
It's like how Days Gone delayed itself to avoid Crackdown Exodus, and there was that other major game that was all coming out on the same day in February of this year. Do you remember that when there was like that one? Oh, Anthem.
Yeah.
All those games were coming out the same day, and Days Gone were like, we're good, we're pushing back, that's fine. Why compete when you can have a week all to yourself?
Exactly.
And that was a smart move by them.
It was. I have thoughts about Days Gone. I just got my platinum yesterday. Anyway, so we got a weird segue where Mac from It's Always Sunny came on to talk about his new TV show being produced by Ubisoft. It's about a game developer that created the world's most popular MMO, like Blizzard, basically. And it's about their. It looks like the Silicon Valley, but instead of a tech company, it's a video game company. And it's got Abed in it, which means it's guaranteed to be canceled after one season, because Abed can't be cast in a show that's successful and long running.
It's going to be on Apple TV.
Yeah, it's going to be on Apple TV Plus exclusive, which I think is really going to hurt it.
Well, and I also think it didn't look particularly good to start with. My main takeaway is we got F. Murray Abraham out of retirement to be in this.
We did.
So, like, all right.
So next up, we got a new thing about Rainbow Six Siege is getting more content because of why not? You know,
Getting a new character.
Brawlhalla is now being published by Ubisoft and is adding Adventure Time DLC. Brawlhalla, for those that don't know, is the Smash Bros. Style game, but everyone has a weapon.
Feels a little late.
Actually, you say that, but Chris, Brawlhalla is one of those games that you never hear about, but it's like shockingly, massively popular.
I was talking about Adventure Time.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. After that, we got a big breakdown for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and they brought out Barenthal with his dog, Bam Bam.
That was weird. That dog took all the focus.
This game was the first time we realized that everyone was going to start yelling at people, because a bunch of people in the audience kept trying to yell at him to make him reply to them. So,
yeah.
After that, we had Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, the new mobile RPG, featuring all of the characters from the Tom Clancy games. So you had characters from Rainbow Six, you had characters from Ghost Recon, you had Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. What was the other one? There was a fourth one.
Oh, I don't know. I listen, once I saw that this was the Sam Fisher content I was getting for the day, I checked out.
I made a very funny tweet. I'm very proud of it, where I was like, I took a screenshot of the Sam Fisher from the mobile game, and I was like, I really wish Splinter Cell will show up at this year's E3 as the monkey paw goes to work. I'm proud of that one. I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta laugh at your own jokes, and that's what I do. After that, we got Just Dance. We got a new trailer for For Honor DLC. And we got a new game mode coming to Rainbow Six called Quarantine, which is like a alien infestation kind of zombie game mode for Rainbow Six. We got a trailer for the Division DLC coming out. And then we got their new game Roller Champions, which is Rocket League, but as a roller derby game.
That looks cool.
I was going to say, like, boy, that's a long silence for Roller Champions.
Yeah, it looked cool.
And then I think in one of the most disappointing parts of Ubisoft's conference was they usually completely nail the "and one more thing" like ending game. And once again, they did show off a brand new IP, but it's called Gods and Monsters. It's being made by the Assassin's Creed Odyssey team. And it looks to be a very cartoonish action RPG, but we didn't get any gameplay. It was just a very quick trailer.
Yeah.
But the pedigree looks real nice. I mean, Gods and Monsters by the Greek team seems like a natural fit.
It was so weird because like it ended the conference and I didn't know that was the end of the conference.
Nope. There goes.
Did we lose Chris?
We lost Chris.
All right. So he was saying didn't know that was the end of the conference and then just ended. Because I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be the way it ended. Like
It
he
just
came in. Oh, he's back.
He's back. Good. Yeah, it abruptly ended, and it was just like, what? I was watching it on IGN, and it just ended, and they cut to the people at IGN, and they were just like, what?
Yep.
I was like, all right. I thought they were going to say something else, but
Hi.
there's Chris again.
I think my internet's having a seizure.
It's fine. So yeah, that was Ubisoft. Okay, how about we put it like this? Before we go over our top games of E3 next week and finish up with Square Enix and Nintendo, because both of those we can talk about just as long as Xbox today. Out of the 3 conferences we discussed, Xbox, Bethesda, and Ubisoft, what was your favorite showing?
I'm biased. I liked Bethesda.
I said game, not conference.
No, I like Bethesda's conference.
Right. I'm saying, what was your favorite game of the first 3 conferences?
I'm going to say Ghostwire Tokyo.
Nice. Chris?
It's Doom, and I'm spoiler alert, Doom is the game of the conference as far as I'm concerned.
Nice. For me, it's Watch Dogs Legion. I loved what I saw. I'm really biased about Helen, but I thought it was also, beside Doom was a close one because it's also amazing showing, but I think Watch Dogs just really, the gameplay demo really proved that it's going to be really cool because it's going to be a post-Brexit game where the whole country has just gone to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, future. I would say Cyberpunk, but we know it was happening. But like out of all the new stuff, really,
that's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, Ghostwire. Also, shout out to the new producer of Ghostwire Tokyo because she was amazing, and her energy and enthusiasm was just straight up infectious.
Yeah,
she was very memeable.
She was a delight. All right, that's about it. We'll see you next week for the part 2 of E3 2019, where we'll also discuss any other kind of like other messages or game reveals that have happened over the course of the actual show. Because we know like Nintendo did a Treehouse after their conference where they announced and talked about other stuff. Shout out to them for reversing the most controversial thing about one of their upcoming titles. Mario Maker 2 will be adding a patch now that will allow you to play with your friends online.
No,
so good for them.
Good for Nintendo.
Nice of them.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week.
Yes, next week, Nintendo
and Square.
Spoiler alert: no Metroid. So
yeah,
spoiler alert: no Metroid, but it did end with a shocker, which you probably already know. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, guys.